Execution and aftermath. Alexander Skrinik was put to death with the death penalty imposed in the Soviet Union. In 1981, the execution method was generally by firing squad, and this method was preferred by the state. Skrinik's execution was noted succinctly in state records. It was completely hidden from the public. Even his burial place was kept secret, which is an important indicator of how well the Soviets covered up serial killer stories. Even today, it is not known where his grave is, and this uncertainty has turned into a legend about his immortality. Skrinik's legacy and its impact on modern societies. Alexander Skrinik's story was condemned to be forgotten as a product of the closed structure and censorship policies of the Soviet Union. However, modern historians, psychologists and crime investigators are trying to reveal the facts of this dark period by bringing his case to the agenda again. Skrinik is not only a murderer, but also a figure that symbolizes the frightening face of totalitarian regimes. His story is a key to understanding how the state hides the truth and suppresses the dark sides of society. Sociological reflections of the serial killer phenomenon in Soviet society. Serial killers often represent society's darkest, most repressed fears. In a closed and controlling regime like the Soviet Union, these fears would become facts that were hidden and not wanted to be accepted by the system. The case of Alexander Skrinik is a concrete example of the spiritual and social tensions that Soviet society faced during this period. The particular targeting of women highlights deep problems with gender roles and family structure in society. Skrinik's victim profile was single, socially isolated women. This situation reveals the weakness of the protection mechanisms of Soviet society, especially against disadvantaged groups. Skrinik is a figure who ruthlessly exploits these vulnerabilities of the system. The Skrinik case from a psychological perspective. In psychological science, the behavior of serial killers is often associated with childhood trauma, early abuse, and neurological disorders. Similar elements are present in Skrinik's case. According to what has been said, the problems he has with his family and especially his complex feelings towards his mother may be the source of his anger towards women. Brain examinations, disorders in frontal lobe activities and deficiencies in empathy centers support his psychopathic personality traits. These characteristics lead the person to break away from social norms, lack of conscience, and ruthlessness. Skrinik kept this cold and calculating side at the forefront while planning and executing his crimes. Subscribe and like, dear viewers, the continuation of Part 3.